Yeah, we're coming after you guys. This is what I look like right now. The doctors basically did the MRI for my for my spine. I have a lot of fractures in my brain. I lost my 3 teeth.
Story time. I got hit by a drunk driver. Literally, I got hit by a drunk driver, and it's crazy. And I wanted to at least share with you guys how I ended up here. How one day you are just going out of karaoke. Life is normal. All of a sudden, you wake up at a hospital not knowing how you got there. So on Monday, June 9th, I think, don't quote me, this past Monday, I decided to take myself out to karaoke. Those of you guys who know me, I love karaoke so much. And put in my song like normal, got a drink as normal, was in good spirits, happy, vibrant, living my best life. I'm a full-time content creator. I help people for a living. I help translate people's inner world for a living. I was sitting in a chair by myself. I bumped into a guy who had a group of friends, and they ended up sitting with me. While we were sitting, we're talking, vibing, getting to know each other. And while I'm sitting there, I'm trying to filter out if these are people I want to know or not. Ultimately, I decided, okay, fine, I'm by myself. I'm usually a lone wolf type person anyways, so I decided to hang out with them for the night, right? I go up to sing my song, and then they wanted to go to, if you're from West Hollywood, you know that like the entire strip of West Hollywood, like it becomes like, which bar do you want to go into? What vibe are you feeling? And that can switch at any moment. You can walk into a bar and be in there for 10 minutes and then be like, I'm not really liking this vibe. Or you can go and walk into a bar and stay there all night. But that's, I think, the appeal of West Hollywood, right? Back to the story. They wanted to go to Trunks, which is like more of a sit-down vibe on a Monday night, right? I wanted to go dancing because I'm just a very hyperactive person. And dancing is like a form of expression, can be a little bit of form of escapism for me. So we went to the Abbeys. We danced for a little bit at the Abbeys. I want to say 30 minutes. This was probably like 12:30. And mind you, we didn't have drinks at the Abbeys. And at some point, everyone was like, hey, let's go to Trunks. So we went to Trunks. When we got to Trunks, I had made a conscious choice to start sobering up. But when we went to Trunks, we bumped into this man who wanted to buy everybody drinks. And so we had a couple drinks and, we were all getting to know each other some more. This man was an older man. He obviously was, trying to impress us or trying to pick somebody up. And at this point, we stayed there drinking, talking, laughing, dancing, kikiing, all the things until like 2 a.m. I realized I'm drunk. One of the guys that I met, we were kind of hitting it off a little bit. I'm right now emotionally unavailable. However, I kind of put my boundaries down and just like, yeah, I'm open for getting to know you, whatever the case. The end of the night happens. It's 2 a.m. We're getting literally kicked out the bar. I'm conscious. I started to sober up a bit. I'm crossing the street. So I actually parked my car directly across the street from Trunks. So Trunks is here. There's a parking here, there's a street, and then there's like a break in the middle, and then another street, and then another parking, a sidewalk parking, if you may. So I parked across the street, if that makes any sense. I'm not really gonna explain it. I walk up to my car because I only have my car key in my pocket. I didn't want to carry my house keys in my pocket because I don't like having a lot of things in my pocket. I think a lot of you guys can relate. I'm getting ready to Uber because I was a little drunkies. And I was gonna pick up my car in the morning. My keys, I hop out the car, I connect the house key to the car key, I put in the key into the door to lock it, and I got struck from the right side, turned to the left, his rearview mirror, my rearview mirror, my face kind of went in between and both of them broke off. Mine stayed hanging, his broke off completely, the drunk driver. I'm pretty sure I fell and got ran over on the leg. And that's the last thing that I remember. Next thing you know, I wake up and I don't know how long in between, I'm unconscious. I'm sitting at a sidewalk. I don't know how I got there. There is a cop and the guy that I was referring to, the one that I met earlier today, was still there. And they were like, and there was an ambulance. So could you imagine? I have lost consciousness. I do not know what's going on. I look up, I see a cop, I'm like, oh, no, not a good idea. Don't want to talk to you. Apparently I'd been talking to him the entire time, didn't even know. I'm going back and forth with the cop. He's telling me, I remember him saying like, we're going to take you to the hospital. You have to go to the hospital. And guys, I'm a Taurus. I'm a stubborn man. Also, I have my own deep feelings about cops sometimes. I remember saying to him, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to go home. I don't want to do any of this. I just want to go home. I remember feeling my teeth, like missing a tooth, and I pulled out the last one just like out of adrenaline, and I put it in my pocket. And he was like, you have to go. And I realized, oh crap, I'm really bleeding really bad. And I started to realize I'm in pain. I hop in the ambulance. And when I get into the ambulance, everything's blurry. I don't know what happened in the ambulance. It was kind of in and out consciousness, right? I hear like noises. I feel them poking. They're asking me questions I can't really answer. I kind of black out. And then the next I wake up, I'm already in the hospital being checked on. At this point, I call my best friend Michael. I call someone I was dating. Don't want to say his name. I'm not sure if he's okay with me saying his name. I call my mom. I call everyone. So Michael didn't pick up. The guy that I used to date picked up, and he said he was on his way. Call my mom. She didn't pick up. I call my sister, and she picked up, and she's like walking me off the ledge. I'm sitting there, really like not knowing what's happening, how bad this is. I'm still not comprehending or processing what's going on. Then my ex gets there. He sits next to me and like consoles me. And in real time, they're like wiping me down, and I'm starting to notice that I have a lot of pain. I'm starting to notice my leg hurts really bad. I'm starting to notice my face is really, really bad and swollen. And guys, I really thought I was on my way out. So much so that I took my phone out and I started writing a goodbye letter to all the people that I love, just in case that I died. As I'm talking to my sister, she tells me like everything's gonna be okay. This is what's gonna happen. Asking me if it's okay for her to make decisions in my life. Like if something happened, could she make the call to pull the plug or to administer medication? And I said yes, absolutely. Her and my mom, absolutely got this. So I hang up with her. I start working on the goodbye letter. As I'm working on the goodbye letter, they find a gush, like a slash, a deep slash here. She's like, we have to do stitches and we have to do staples. Did you want any medication? Did you want to numb it? It's what they asked me.
I got it. Me too. Oh, Papa.
I have such an aversion to medicine. I'm such a holistic healer, holistic medicine type person that I drunkenly was like, no, I don't want any of that stuff in me. And so, oh, sorry, I thought it was gonna fall. And so he proceeded to do stitches without medicine. And I'm here holding my fist, like tight, like super tight. It's like the most excruciating pain. I know my fault. I know I'm stubborn. My face is starting to swell. I can't talk. And then they finish the sutras. And then we noticed that my nose is so swollen that one of the nose rings got stuck. And I'll insert a picture here. It got stuck inside my nose. The other one, they couldn't find it. We were looking. We couldn't find it. We didn't know if it was in there or not because they wanted to do an MRI to make sure I didn't have any internal bleeding or what have you. Well, when they leave the room, I take the camera out and I start looking at my face and I'm noticing this is really bad. This is so bad. And the fear kicks in, the adrenaline kicks in times 20. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. I felt like the human manifestation of death, of decay. And my ex, who was there with me, did such an amazing job at like comforting me and soothing me and just making sure that I was okay, because I honestly was such in a daze. I could not tell you. All I remember feeling was fear, confusion, fear, like disconnected from reality, like disassociated. And the medical team comes back in and they say something like, hey, we can't tell if there's a nose ring in the right nostril or not. So we're gonna have to take you downstairs and we're going to have to do like a metal detector type situation to see if there's anything in there. I switch out into a gown and they tell me I have to do an MRI. And I think before that, actually, I know I'm all over the place. Before that, I got a CT scan and some x-rays. When all that happened, I was still kind of going in and out of consciousness. I can't tell you if it happened before I was writing my goodbye letter or after. I couldn't tell you. It's all a blur. But I can tell you that when I started coming back into full consciousness is when I was downstairs getting an MRI and they were scanning for my second nose ring. And then they scanned and it wasn't there. So they put me on the MRI table and I noticed that my knee hurts really bad. And the way that they flip you in a hospital, especially like when you're like super injured or trauma injured, you get on a blanket, they lift you up, and then they put like a sliding thing, and then they lift you this way. Well, when they lift me this way,